today is indeed such a special day, Cinco de Mayo. And I've got some interesting facts to share with you about that holiday. It's actually very special to me in particular because the part of Mexico that had a big determining factor in the whole Cinco de Mayo was my mother's hometown of Puebla, the city of Puebla, which is where my relatives are from, where my mother was born. And you may or may not realize it, but it was actually the French that were invading Mexico. A lot of people confuse Cinco de Mayo with Mexican Independence Day, which was actually in September, and that was liberation from the Spanish, right? But back in 1862, it was actually the French who were invading Mexico. They were collecting old unpaid debts, and they had demanded, Mexico, you give us the money you owe us, or we're going to come and take over and get it ourselves. So who knows what words exactly were exchanged. But hey, man. Hey, Hackus. Thanks for tuning in. Good to see you, man. Just giving a little history of Cinco de Mayo and why it's special for me anyway. So France decided to invade Mexico, right? Well, the first city they decided to hit was Veracruz, and those guys didn't put up a very good fight. They pretty much got mowed down, and France, led by Napoleon III, I think it was at that time, just easily went through that city and kept on going into Mexico. But the city where they got stopped was Puebla, and that's where I have roots through my mom, and so of course it's a very special holiday for them. About 2,000 men were able to stop the attack from the French. The battle lasted about 4 hours, I think, and they basically turned them all away. And it was a huge victory for Mexico. It restored their national pride, and it was such a huge force. I don't know how they were able to outsmart them or beat them, but they were actually able to turn away those French forces. So that's what happened, and that is the day that they celebrate as Cinco de Mayo. Back in 1862. That was a really interesting time if you think about it. The 1860s, I mean, Abraham Lincoln had just gotten elected president. We were still having our Civil War going on during the same time as this French invasion into Mexico. So, man, to be a fly on the wall back then with so much going on. So, his assassination might have even been in the same year that Mexico defeated France at the Battle of Puebla. So that was some really good information that my mom shared with me at a young age. She was always very proud to tell me that story.